story from a driver where a drunk person gets in that's not the rider? What happens? That's what we're talking about right now. Hey everyone, my name is Chris and welcome to Real Rideshare Stories. And today we got a pretty crazy story, but a really nice story, which you don't see too often. But I saw this and thought, hey, this really needs to be highlighted. And it's a really good story. So I'm happy to see this. But what happens if you're driving and a drunk person gets in your car and it's not your real rider? Well, there's a lot of things you could do to prevent that from happening. But what happens when the real rider gets there? So as you see on the screen right now, it says, the app says one passenger is going to be on the ride that you drove 15 miles to get to. Rider gets in the back seat and I ask, are you the person that is supposed to get the ride? And the rider says, I don't know who that is, as the second person gets in the front seat. I ask the guy in the front, are you whoever it is? And the guy says, yes, but who the hell are you in the back? The guy in the back says, I'm in a fucking Uber. I ask, why is he in my car? And he says, because I'm drunk and cold. It's 9 degrees out. The guy in the front says, who cares? Let's get him home first because it's so cold out. I'll pay for him. I ask the guy in the back what his address is, and he mumbles an address that doesn't line up with the road name and then says 5 different addresses and 2 different road names. So we wander around for approximately 5 minutes and drop him off at whatever house he thinks he lives at. Then I drop off the regular passenger in the app and he gives me $20 for dropping off the other stranger. 5 minutes later, he tips $5 in the app. Okay, well, a bit of BS from a drunk played off. So that is actually a really cool story because normally when something like this happens, you're trying to get them out and things can escalate into a unwanted situation where there could be a fight that breaks out. There could be a lot of problems that happen. There's a lot of things that could go wrong on that. But this rider was cool where he's like, look, I'm trying to get home. Let's get this person home first. And so they got him home and the passenger was cool enough to tip to pay for the amount of time that it took and mileage that it took to get that person home. If they even got to the right home or not, that's a whole different story. But this is pretty cool. I thought this was a really cool thing to highlight and to see that there are some really cool people out in the world. All right, now I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on this particular case? Or have you had something similar like this happen and how did it unfold? Comment below, let us know. All right, and if you like this type of story and you thought this was really cool from that rider, make sure you smash that like button. Also subscribe and ring the bell for notifications so you'll be notified every time a new video is uploaded. And as always, never drink and drive. Always tip your drivers, your delivery drivers, and your passengers. And as always, never drink and drive. Always tip your drivers, your delivery drivers, and your shoppers. And we'll see you next time.